evening, everyone. It's a delight to be here with you this evening and to say goodbye to what has been a very unusual and somewhat eventful February, and hello to March. We've only got 4 days left of February, and then we're on to celebrate St. Patty's Day and hopefully some really much nicer weather if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, where I do. As we move into March, I'm ready. I'm ready for the winter to be done. Hopefully you are too. Folks, as we get started, because I know I always have a few latecomers come in, so let me just kind of go over some of my housekeeping items first, and then we're going to jump into tonight's webinar. First off, I want to say thank you for all being here. I know these are some strange times, and sometimes it's even difficult to remember what day it is and to remember that, today is the psychic hour. So I want to thank you for being here when we've got so much going on in our world that's a constant distraction. At any rate, it's going to be a great evening. I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot of people on here with their hands up already from all over, so I'm really excited about tonight's session. As you all remember, everyone who is here is going to get a chance to ask me a question directly. Lisa is in the chat room. She's going to be answering your questions by clicking on the hand. So if you have a question that you want to ask me live, where you come on and verbally ask me, and my guide and I will supply that answer, among other things. I'll tell you a little more about that in a moment. But if you want to, raise your hand, and Lisa will select whoever has their hand up first. If she sees questions in the chat that look like they're going to especially have some kind of universal insight, she will actually read it out for you. So if you're shy and you don't want to speak, you can still ask your question. Just put it into the chat room. And also, if you don't get called on tonight, I always go through as many as I can do and still do a good job with them. But if you don't get called on tonight, as long as I receive your simple question by tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I will be glad to answer it. And that would be via email. You can email either me at the email on this site that you went to register, or you can email Lisa, sainc@aol.com, and she'll make sure that I get that and can get that answer back to you. So everyone who's here and stays until the end does get an answer to their question. Now, when Lisa calls on you, please be ready, because we already have lots of hands up. So please be ready, and you're going to unmute yourself, and she'll unmute you on this end. And the first thing I want to know about you when you get called on is your first name. We don't need last names because this will be made public on YouTube and other social networks. So we don't need your last name, just your first name. So your first name, and the very first thing I would like you to tell me, and all of us, is what you're most grateful for in your life right now. And because we all have things that are happening that are really good and exciting. So the first thing I want to hear from you is what's going on for you right now? What are you most grateful for? I also want to know where you're calling from. All of us are curious about that. I do get people calling from all kinds of wonderful, interesting places, so it's kind of fun to hear where you're from. So your first name, where you're from, what you're most grateful for, and I also want to know your sun sign. You'll see this chart that's on the board here on your computer screen. That is called a horary astrology chart. And armed with that chart, I can tell you pretty much what's going on in your life right now. It will be a chart that's good for everyone on this call this evening. After this evening, I rip it up and I throw it away, because a horary chart's a throwaway chart. It's only good for this time. But everyone who's looking at it, who's here with me right now, is going to be on this chart somewhere. So I will be using this chart. That's why I want to know your sun sign. Now, if you send me your email after the fact, before 9 p.m. tomorrow night, make sure you give me your sun sign, because I will still be using this chart for you, okay? So the last thing you're going to tell me is your specific question. And believe it or not, by the time I get done telling you what's going on from this chart, just with your sun sign, I may have already answered your question. And because of the way my guides work, They have a way of answering not just your question, but along the way to answering your question, they will answer the questions of many, many other people who are on the call with me. So please listen up. Even though the questioner might not be yourself, your answer might actually come through them. My guides have a way of doing that where they can talk to multiple people at the same time. Now, before we get started, here's a little update on what's going on with me. I'm going to start over on this side this time, on the left side. I want to talk about my specials. We still have 4 days left before we are done with February 2024. And so I have some specials left. I want to remind you. I have a reading and coaching special, how to handle the changing relationships in your life. That'll take about a half an hour. You can purchase that for a half an hour time for $300 or get a little discount by purchasing an hour at $550. That reading coaching special is very unique. I do have a relationship reading on my website all the time. It is not the same thing as this. This is something I only offer during February in honor of Valentine's Day. We can look at multiple relationships. We can look at one relationship. We can look at how you relate. We can look at how you relate to yourself, your higher self. The big thing about this is that we are going to be looking at the changing things that are going on in our world and how they are affecting your relationships. And most importantly for most of us, where those relationships, everyone you want to look at, are going in the future. Okay, and I will be doing that with only your chart. I'm not going to need extra charts on that. Okay, so again, that's a difference from the astrology reading that's on my actual website. So this is a unique reading that's only offered during February, and it goes away in 4 days. So if you want that, you need to sign up for it now. I also have, still from February, the specials, a computerized spiritual path report. That's only $29.95. And that is a computerized report. It's not me doing the reading, but the report comes to you via your email, and it's it's very, very extensive. It's 30 to 35 pages, I think, might be more. And it's absolutely beautiful and hits every aspect of your spiritual journey. So it's a really nice report to have and to maintain and to look back on over the years. If you know anybody who's got a birthday coming up, what a wonderful gift that makes for them. I also have my third special for February. I have a coaching program. I don't know if all of you even know about that. So yes, my guides integrate coaching with my readings, and with my readings you always get a little bit of coaching because my guides see a big picture. But when you sign up for coaching with me and my guides, it's like nothing you've ever experienced before. First of all, my guides are these phenomenal coaches, so they are extremely adept at how to talk your language to you. That's number one. Number two, my guides see the future. And my guides know that relative to what your goals are and what it is that you wish to work through or to achieve or to resolve or because we can move in just about any direction you want. This is soul coaching, life coaching. Guess what? My guides are always going to know what all of the hidden roadblocks are. And they're going to know what things you may need to take care of or resolve before you can take that next step. So those people who have worked with me over the years, and I have many people that I have coached for many years, and those people who have worked with me over the years have found that things that used to be a problem in their life never are, because they're always one step ahead, and they're achieving their dreams and their goals in life. And also they're starting to make much better connections to their own psyche and their own guides, and they're becoming more self-confident, and they're becoming more capable of handling every single aspect of life. So I don't always have a lot of spots open. Right now I have 1 spot left. So if you are at a point in your life where you could use that coaching, you can try it out. If you book 1 intro session with me, where we kind of take a look at where things are going and outline what you might be going into. If you decide you want to continue with that program, the one session price that you paid will count towards the cost of the whole program. So you can find out more about that when you call in and talk to Lisa, or when you email or text her. But if you're needing coaching, I honestly, and I'm not saying this because I'm bragging, it's an absolutely phenomenal tool that I'm really sure can help you. Taking a look at March, okay, coming up, my reading special for this next month is Finding Your Right Path. And that special is $300, so it's the price of my regular readings. It's about a half an hour long, give or take. And folks, if you're feeling a sense of chaos in your life right now, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling too much of everything coming at you at the same time, you just don't know which to do and which order, you don't know how to find that goal that used to be so very clear to you, the clarification isn't there. If those kinds of things are going on for you right now, welcome to most of everybody, okay? You're not the only one. And when I saw this happening with so many of my clients, I decided we needed to actually put a Finding Your Right Path reading special in. Because folks, when things get chaotic, when there's too much going on in the world, when there's too much going on in your family, when life becomes more of a burden almost than it's worth, this is when you need some support. You need a little bit of direction. You need somebody who can help to get you back on track. And that's exactly what my guides will do in Finding Your Right Path. They're going to help you to look at what's going on in your life right now, get a handle on it, i.e. is it your imagination or is it real? Okay, they're going to help you to look at what's coming up in the next couple of months so that you are back on track with your goals, with your desires, with the things that you have planned, and that you feel a lot more secure in your life, okay? So this reading, Finding Your Right Path, really an important reading, and I think it's the perfect month for it. That's my special for March. I'm also offering, this is my second special, my Psychic Protection Tips self-study course at 50% off. I have many psychic protection tips on YouTube, so if you want to take a look at them and get a feel for what they're like, my Psychic Protection Tips course contains many of those and others as well, and it drips them out to you and stores them in a library online so you can go back and relate to them and re-look at them forever. You don't lose it. And you get a different tip to work with and to practice with each week for a year. So it's a really comprehensive program. And again, the reason I'm offering it right now is at this moment in time, folks, all of us need psychic protection. We do, every one of us, me included. We all need, this is why I've got my pendant on here, we all need to beef up our protections so that we don't pick up on the emotional chaos in the world, so that we can make our own choices and decisions without being pushed one way or the other by the tremendous energies that are surrounding us. And you don't have to be psychic right now to feel that energy that is literally at a fever pitch in the world around us. It's important for us to be able to have, I don't mean walls, protection from our guides or angels, if you will, from techniques that can make it easy for you to be relaxed and move through life without the pressure and the stress that happens when you're feeling pushed on constantly by the outside forces that are acting on you. So that Psychic Protection Tips course is absolutely wonderful. A different tip each week. You can practice all of them. Some of them are going to be fabulous. You'll use them for the rest of your life. Others you're going to say, oh, this is too weird. But it's a great course. And right now it's 50% off. Now, we're actually starting March 1st. Now, the last special I'm offering, and this is really big, especially right now where a lot of people are looking at their finances and saying, how am I going to supplement? How am I going to make extra money coming in? Well, in the psychic field, the easiest and fastest thing to learn how to do is to read tarot cards. I'm sure that everybody here has had your tarot cards read at one time or another, if not by me, by somebody else. Easy to learn to read them. And folks, although it helps to be psychic, you don't have to be psychic to learn to read tarot cards. And using the tarot Even if you do tarot for free for people, you can help a lot of people. And especially right now, people need that help and guidance. And once you learn them, it's a 6-week course to learn them, you can actually make a little bit of money on the side by doing it. It's one of those gifts that is with you for life, and it's something which can help you and help the person you're reading at the same time. How can you do better than that? My tarot program is world renowned. In my VIP, I have an audio version of it. So if you really are pressed for funds, but still want to learn to read it for $20 a month, you can go into my VIP membership and learn it. This program that I'm offering the special on is 30% off just for this month. Now, regularly, it's $297. That's only a little over $200 this month only, okay? When you get that 30% off. So you're getting it for almost $100 off. It's a video program. So those of you who are visual, it's on MP4. You can see it on your computer. It stores online in your own private library. It drips out a lesson each week so that you have time to practice and learn as you go along. And in 6 weeks' time, honestly, this is for real. In 6 weeks' time, you can be a tarot reader. And you can be good enough that you can be out there reading at psychic fairs, and you can be out there reading the cards for your friends and your family, helping people, okay? So I highly recommend this program if you want to learn how to read the tarot cards. And for many of you who are interested in being psychic and have that a little bit of a gift and want to develop it, the tarot cards is a great route to develop your psychic abilities as well. Folks, my next psychic hour is March 24th. So put that on your schedule, register for it, because these classes, this session does usually fill up. And so you want to make sure you can get in, make sure you register early, get here early, of course. And my VIPs, this is a reminder, your next coaching call will be April 25th at 7 p.m. April 25th at 7 p.m. Now, my webinar, What's Happening in 2024, is now available to buy, only $25 on my website. This is going to give you a really good oversight of what is, or overview of what's going on between now and the end of the year on a monthly basis. So some of you are going to want to have that so you can go back and check it back and forth all year long and just have a pretty good understanding, at least out there in the world, and also by sun sign, what's coming up for you at any particular month. It's a good thing to have. Okay, let's jump into our webinar for this evening. So Lisa, who's our first person that's got a question for me?
Well, I'm going to jump in real quick and say happy leap year. And any woman who has a man in your sights, you have 4 days before you ask him to marry you, because that's what leap year is all about.
That I didn't know that. You, boy, oh boy, learn something new all the time. I had no idea, Lisa.
So we get an extra day this year to call in sick at work or whatever.
So we knew about this, and that does make this year quite special. Every 4 years we get one.
All righty, the first person we're going to call on is Lorena. Lorena, can you unmute?
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi there.
Enjoying the weather? Beautiful, ain't it?
Oh, we had a beautiful day today. Are you down here in Florida with me?
Yeah, that's the question today. So I'm in Florida, been in Florida for a little bit. Hold on. I'm in Aries. What am I grateful for? Not hitting that alarm like I used to many years ago. And I'm in Aries.
Okay, I'm having a little trouble when you said what are you most grateful for? You're not getting alarmed like you were many years ago?
Not hitting that alarm. You know how people nowadays they have to hit the alarm to get up and go to work and all the other stuff.
Okay, now I understand. So you retired.
Oh my God, yes, long time ago.
Okay, now I get it. So you're very grateful for the fact that you're not on somebody else's time schedule. Good for you. Good for you. Okay, give me a moment, Lorraine, so that I can catch us up here with what's going on for all the cardinal signs. Because as an Aries, and here you are, when Lisa said it's leap year, Aries is on the 7th house of this chart, and that is the house of relationships. So either you might be looking for a relationship partner, or you might be trying to jazz up the relationship that you're already in. But a lot of your focus in right now and going into March is going to be on relationships. And since both Chiron and the North Node are right here, right above that 7th house cusp, things that are good should be coming to you regarding relationships. And that would be for all the cardinal signs, the Aries, the Cancers, the Capricorns, the Libras. So relationships should be not just improving and uplifting and happy, but they should also be giving you opportunities and avenues so that both you and your relationship partner can grow. And here I'm not just talking about, Valentine's Day or significant other. I'm talking about your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your coworker, your relationship with any one-on-one relationship that you have that you want to put your focus on. This is a very good time to bring it upwards, to lift it, to put a new, just a new positive energy into it, okay? Now, the first 11 degrees of this sign are in the 6th house, which talks about your day-to-day environment, your working environment, or if you're not working, like Lorraine is not working, it could be, what's going on around you in the locality that you're living in. And if you are looking for a partner, you're probably going to find that partner either at work or right around your home area where you're living. I don't think you're going to have to go too far to find them, which is very nice. Now, also looking at all the cardinal signs, with the South Node being here in Libra, there is a desire to be surrounded by people, and at the same time, there's a desire to push everybody away and be alone. So if you're experiencing this seesaw energy emotionally, don't be surprised. It's normal and natural right now because of the way the nodes are placed in the chart. It's kind of like you want those relationships, you just want them on your terms, okay? And you are going to have an opportunity for a past relationship, something perhaps that you've missed or that you've wondered how that person is, to come back into your life. Now, because we also have Cancer, which is on the midheaven being affected, there can also be some opportunities if you are working or have some life dreams that you want to implement. There could be some opportunities to bring those things to you through either a family member or a person that you have a warm emotional connection to. And so this is a good time to have career advancement. It's a good time to advance your life dreams, your life goals as well. And if you are selling a property, because Capricorn's down here in the 4th house, if you're selling a property or wanting to invest in a home, this is actually a very good time to do that. It's a good time to run a business out of your home. It's a good time to see your household as a business opportunity or business proposition. And that would hold true for all the cardinal signs, the Aries, Cancers, Capricorns, and Libras. Okay, how am I doing and what's your specific question?
Not in a relationship, so that ended a long time ago. So I'm being single for a while. Thank you.
Right, but you have other relationships around you.
Oh yes,
So,
yes,
so
yes,
all those
yeah,
things are still going to be important to you, but
yes.
they're going to talk about those one-on-one relationships that, that could be really special.
Yeah. Well, the whole dilemma that I got is that after 20 years, on April 1st of this year, it will be 20 years since I owned this house in here in Florida, and I made the decision to finally sell it and go. But I don't know where to go.
And well, get this. We talked about this. Look at my cursor. Here's the house as a business. So your timing on selling this house is good because you're going to be able to, the whole world's moving to Florida right now. You're going to be able to get a good price for it. You're going to be able to get top dollar for it. Now, when you say you don't know where you want to go, are you talking about traveling or relocating?
Um, I definitely want to get another house somewhere. I was not thinking of Florida no more. I didn't kind of like it so much. The heat is what it drives me crazy here. So, but I like the fact that you can grow anything, anytime. This times is when I love it to be here. You know, when everybody's up there in the north so cold and we're in the 75s, I love it. So I just
Mm-hmm.
don't know where to go. I
Yep.
I want to buy
And
something else.
yep. And well, I think that's a good idea because, there's all that business stuff about how to handle a house. And when you sell something, you need to reinvest that money, et cetera, et cetera. But here's a suggestion for you. I'm doing this with the cards. Okay. I turned up a 2 of Wands, but it's inverted. And you'll
Hmm.
notice that this is the guy who's looking at the future and saying, okay, where should I go? Which is exactly what your question is. And it's inverted. It says
Hmm.
it's not the right time to go. So it could very well be the right time to sell, but it's not the right time to go. Isn't that interesting? Okay, keep that in mind.
Oh.
It says that you're going to have this is the second card I turned up is a 4 of Swords. This is the card of deep thinking and waiting. You're going to have a better insight into what you should be doing with this whole situation in April and be pretty clear on it 4 months from now. So it's not like you have to wait forever, but right now is not the right time. Okay. And then I turned up the Devil, which is interesting because the Devil is not it's a Capricorn card. Surprise, surprise. And here's Capricorn on the bottom of the chart. Capricorn is involved in every business deal. And what it says is that you need to proceed carefully and you need to have everything handled legally. You need to have all those T's crossed and those I's dotted because there's a whole lot of weird stuff that's going on in the world right now. And you want to make sure that you are financially protected regardless of what you do. Everything's got to be legal and on the up and up. Okay. And the final card I picked was the Hanged Man. And again, he's upright. He says, sit tight and watch because you're going to know exactly where you want to be and the right timing of that, but you don't know it yet. That's why you have that sense of confusion.
Mm.
Now, so here's an interesting possibility. When my guides say, and when the chart says, use this home as a business investment, okay?
Mhm.
You have options. Do you sell it and reinvest the whole amount? Do you sell it and reinvest in a small little place in Florida that you can live temporarily while you travel and look for where your forever home is going to be? Do you keep that money from that and keep that house, refinance it to buy a little something else, and then rent it and live off what you're renting? Use the house. You need to think about these things, my friend. Use the house as a business option because this is your nest egg. That house is delivering to you. It's telling me also, the chart itself is telling me that you do have other people around you who are kind of motivating and pushing you into doing something. Okay. And
Mhm.
I don't know if it's that they want you to come and live near them or they maybe want you to sell them that house or whatever. This is a time when you need to sit tight and take what they're suggesting under advisement, but you make your own choices and your own decisions. Okay. You're going
Mhm.
to do extremely well when you decide to have that new domicile, but the time isn't right. You're eventually going to go somewhere where you have friends and where you feel like there is already a community of like-minded people that you are going to feel comfortable with. And I think one of the reasons you're wanting to sell right now isn't just the Florida weather, it's the fact that the community of people that used to make you feel loved and welcomed it's not the same. It's changed. So until you find that community, you're probably not going to be sure where you want to go.
Okay. Yeah, I don't feel like this community it works at my advantage. The neighbors and other people they're always fighting with me. So I got to the point. You know what? It's time to go.
Yeah.
And
And that's this is exactly it because you can be with like-minded people that make you feel good, that support you. And for things to be grateful about, for many, many, many years you had that. Otherwise you wouldn't still be there. Okay. But you are now retired. You're ready to find people where you can spend more time. You can do the social activities that you like, but you don't yourself know yet what you want, do you?
No, I want to buy something. One of the dreams they were showing me is to buy something small for around $40,000 around
Mm-hmm.
the corner. That's what they said, around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and then that will keep me set to buy whatever I want, to
Mm-hmm.
have whatever I want temporarily,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably in 2027, 28, if I want to be back in Florida, then I can come back and buy cheap again. And I'm like, that makes no sense, that whole entire dream.
Actually, that is exactly what my guys just told you. When you listen to this again, you're going to hear it. They said, sell the house, take a
Yeah.
small part of that money and invest in something small around the corner right here in Florida where you feel comfortable because this is a safe place for you right now. And travel and find the place you really would like to be for your forever home. And then you'll be able to know where you want to be, whether it's in North Florida, where it's a little cooler, or whether it's up in the mountains and in South Carolina, you'll have a feeling for where you want to be. Okay. You
Thank you.
don't even know right now because you don't know yet what kind of lifestyle you want to lead. Life has changed for you. So for you to jump with both feet into something brand new would probably land you in the same situation that you're trying to get away from right now,
Mm,
because you don't yet know what you want. You only know what you don't want. And remember, psychically, the unconscious only hears this word. They don't hear I do or I don't. They only hear the want. So if I say I don't want to live where it's warm, it hears live where it's warm. If I say I do want to hear live where it's warm, my guides are going to hear, my unconscious is going to hear live where it's warm. So until you can really specify what it is, you can't base moving, you can't base creating your future on something you don't want here. You got
okay.
to find out what you do want. Okay,
Okay.
you'll get
Yep.
there.
No
And
cold
this
weather no more. No
dream,
more
your
snow.
dream was accurate. Your dream was accurate because your guides just gave it back to you through my lips.
Thank you. Thank you,
You're
girls. Thank you,
welcome.
Lisa. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Lisa, who's our next person?
All righty, our second victim for tonight is going to be Elisa. Elisa, can you unmute?
Hello, Elisa.
Yes. Hi. Hi.
Hi there.
Hi. I'm so my name is Elisa. Sorry. Yes. I call from Florida, and um, what I'm grateful for is, well, a lot of things, but I would say probably the all the healing that I've gone through lately, personally.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm
And
a Leo.
you're Leo. That was what I was about to ask. See, you're reading my mind. Okay. In this Horary chart, Leo is on the 11th house cusp, which is all about how you give love to others, how you give, how you share of yourself. And it's all about the people around you, the groups you belong to, the people that
Mm,
you find supportive of you. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that right now for you, and it's good stuff. We also have half of the sign here in the 10th house. This has to do with your career. So you may very well have a lot of career concerns. And
mm-hmm,
right now your career and your friends are kind of linked together. It may be that you're saying it's time for me to make a change, it's time for me to move on, but these people are like my family. I don't know, where would I go, who would be my friends, you see.
mm,
Now Leo's a fixed sign, so all the fixed signs are being activated by your question. Okay, the opposing sign is Aquarius, so we have Pluto, Mars, and Venus here. There are a lot of concerns with the where you want to live, the who you want to live with, the nature of the relationship. So when I was talking all about my March special or my February special, and I was talking about those changing relationships, you're experiencing it, you're living it, so you know exactly what I mean. You kind of
mm-hmm,
are probably feeling, I wish that I could have the same relationship, with my husband, my significant other, with my family, with my children that I'm having with my friends. That's so easy. Why do I have all these things at home to deal with when all these other people are the ones who really buttress me and give me support? So there's a little conflict in there. We also have a hard aspect here to Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus, which is creating a lot of financial hardship And I don't know who in the family, this is family related. I don't know if it's the kids, I don't know if it was a relative, but there's someone in the family who handles money very differently than you. And I think that you have been trying very hard to help them, to support them, to lift them up. And unfortunately, you know, it's one of those things that the more you work, the more you put energy into it, the more you realize that you have no control over the outcomes. And so much of what's going on in this other person's life isn't their fault. That's the thing. It's not their fault. And so you want to keep helping, but now you're at the point where you're realizing I can't. I need to think about myself and my immediate family, right? And when it gets to that point, it's so frustrating because you know you cannot continue to handle things the way you've been handling them. So I don't know what your specific question is, but there's definitely going to be a change in your finances. By the way, your finances this year are going to be up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So you can expect influxes of money that will be very good, but you also have to be very careful of it because those influxes come and then don't come again. Okay, so just because money happens doesn't mean you can spend it. Okay,
Right.
I also am seeing at home you're so tired of. I'm, you know, I'm seeing the being under the thumb, but it's not being under the thumb of a person so much as it's being under the thumb of the situation. So there's a situation that you have, you know, you're bought into because you were being a nice person, but now you're stuck with it. Okay, it's like,
Yeah.
well, what do I do about this? And you know, it's time to give yourself permission to say no, and it's time to give yourself permission to make a change. Time to give yourself permission to change your mind. You know, just because you said you would do something doesn't mean you need to do it for the next 200 years. You're allowed to change your mind and set some boundaries. Okay. And I think
Yeah.
that's hard for you because you're a very loyal person. That's Leo for you, and you want to be there to do all the things you promised. The thing is, times have changed, and so you're going to need to the other people that you have been so supportive of and cannot give you the support back that you really need emotionally, financially, physically. Those people need to have new boundaries relative to them. And you need to be very honest with them as to why you're handling things differently. It's hard to do. It's very hard to do. But you're going to have a better relationship with all of them when you are really upfront with what you can and what you can't do, and you set some boundaries and time limits. Time limits are important, and deadlines. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is your specific question?
Well, you brought up a bunch of things that definitely resonate. My question was definitely going to be around my work career and money, because it's true, like there's been hardship, and I'm definitely um, feeling that I should not splurge and that I have to be very careful, because you were talking before saying about someone that didn't handle or handle the money differently and something happened and it was not his fault. I think you're talking about, yeah, my husband in this moment. So
When
and
you when you first got on the line, I pulled these two cards: an inverted Ace of Cups and an inverted King of Swords. This is your husband. This is your relationship. Unfortunately, you guys haven't had the greatest February, not the greatest St. Valentine's Day, because there are these struggles going on. And you know, he doesn't seem to be talking. I think he's, is it embarrassed or let down or, you know, not knowing what to do, and he's supposed to. And meanwhile, because the communication isn't happening, you're being let down, and that's really affecting the way the two of you relate. It
mhm,
feels almost like the love in the relationship is gone. Um,
mhm,
the love isn't gone, folks. What's happened here is that there's a change in our world, and that means that your old way of handling and dealing with things at this point in time, right now, doesn't work. So you have to find some new solutions. Relative to your job specifically, it looks to me like you really, really, really want to leave. It's like you would give anything to be able to leave that job and go someplace else to do something else. And my guides are saying that you should start looking because you can do better elsewhere.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I do have actually my own business that
Ah,
kind of took a hit a little bit in these past 2 years because also I was basically restructuring things
mhm.
and getting back, I believe, on my real path. But then um, I had to find like some part-time situations, but
Mhm.
I don't like it at all. I mean, I found one thing I thought I was so excited, but then it was a total letdown. And now I guess my question was around, what should I do? Because it takes away
Well,
time from what I want to do really, but at the same time I need it. See, like
right.
it's a,
In the long term, the big picture, okay, the big picture, you are a successful businesswoman and you will have your own business again. That's the big picture. The immediate picture is that your own business can't bring in the support and the money. As a matter of fact, your own business was taking money from the household. And that's not your fault. That has a lot to do with the times that we're living in. Heck, look at there are giant companies all over the place that are just going right out of business. There's nothing wrong with right now having some difficulty making things work. However, the job that you presently took, and here we come back to you being a Leo, it's like, you develop this sense of gratitude and loyalty so easily and so quickly, and that's being a Leo. It's a wonderful quality, but you have to be careful who you decide to give that loyalty to,
yeah,
because right now, it's not your imagination. You are being used. And I think, your husband's very concerned about the finances and he doesn't want you to leave because, he can't afford that hit. Neither one of you can. So somehow you've got to be able to look for a better paying job that's got better working conditions. It's more the conditions than, it's not the travel. It's more the people.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
The
exactly,
people set work.
absolutely.
You're just working in a place where the people are incredibly negative and they're not nice. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
and you're a nice person. You deserve to be working with a nice group of people. Isn't it interesting, by the way, that this must be in the air right now? Because our previous caller, one of the reasons she wants to move is because the neighborhood she's been in for 25 years is not a nice neighborhood anymore.
yeah,
You know, right now, it's interesting that there are still really nice places to work, and there are still a lot of really nice people out there. But, a lot of the wolf or the sheep coverings are coming off and the little wolves are coming out. So
yeah,
in a lot of cases, the true nature of people is showing, and some people just aren't so nice and so fun to be around. So for now, you've got to stick with them because you need the money, but you can look for something else. You've got tremendous experience. I think the struggle you were having with your own business, and this has nothing to do with where you're working, although the way you're working is not helping, but the struggle you were having with your own business has undermined that. Wow, I can do anything. Look at how powerful I am and look at what I'm
yeah.
able to do. It's undermined you. And so you're coming at the job from a point of view of, please, can I do this? Now, you see, when you have that attitude, I hate to say it, it attracts the bullies. You can't approach things like that. Now, you never did before. You approached them with, oh, this is so much fun. I can't wait to get into it. And so you were very successful. So you've got to get into your heart and reclaim you, get back to you and say, hey, listen, I could make my own business work. And until this economy went crazy, if it hadn't, you still would be making it work and you'd be growing. Your business is not closed. Your business, and by the way, when you go back into business, I think it's going to be different and it'll be more successful than it was in the past because you'll have more experience. The thing is put it on hold. Don't dump it. Put it on hold. But where your energy needs to go right now is into the career, making money, but working in a place that returns respect to you for the respect you give them. You got it?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Okay. And
Yeah,
remember something, loyalty this is a big thing for Leos. Loyalty must be earned.
right.
Yourself 3 times, loyalty must be earned. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
not going to be loyal to somebody just because they turned up on my doorstep and said I'm a nice person. Okay.
yeah,
You become loyal to the people that you see they're doing nice things for their other employees. they've been in business for a long time. They're sometimes jumping, they chip in and they help when if not everybody shows up that day, well, they're out there helping. They're not just cracking the whip. Those are the people that you're going to be loyal to. And so guess what? You're also learning to run your own business the right way through this experience.
I
You
see.
see, this is so
Yeah.
important. The experience you're having right now is so very, very important. It's what's going to make you into somebody special with your business in the future. But right now, you need a break because right now you got to focus on bring the income in. There will be tell this to your husband, it's going to make him feel better. He can't undo the past. He has to stop that. There's so much out and out depression around him. He's looking at the past. He's looking at promises that were made to him that weren't delivered by a man in particular. He's holding grudges to that man, and he's feeling bad about another man that he's let down. So all around your husband, there's this negativity and this depression from all this stuff that's happened, okay? He needs to put that out of his mind because it's holding him back as well. You guys need to be a team again and know that you can set the world on fire because you really can once you aren't wallowing in all that negativity.
Yeah.
He's also not sure where he's going with his future, doesn't know what he should be doing, so he's concerned about his work. Tell him that I don't know if he was in the business with you, but I
No.
see him very successful in the future. He can be an independent, I'm hearing independent operator. So I don't know if he operates heavy equipment or something like that, but I feel that what he's doing right now is just a stepping stone to something more, and he can do it. What's in the back of his mind, he can do. You can't give him the support right now that you used to give him. He needs to understand that. He needs to be independent, and he needs to work his way out of that down spot, but he will be successful once he realizes, just like you, that he can do it. You're both on track. You just have to start listening to in here instead of all the jabbering voices out there.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. So good
Thank
luck
you.
to you. There will
Thanks.
be a financial windfall that comes your way towards the second part of the year. Okay. And
Okay.
that's a big help. But again, you've got to be real careful with how that money gets spent. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Makes sense. Thank you.
Good. Good luck to you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. And Leo, Leo, I got Leo in my brain. Lisa, who's next?
Do you know who your assistant is?
Who has a Leo rising? Yes.
Yes, I do. That was Dad saying hello from the other side. All right. Our third person for tonight is going to be Luz. If I can unmute her.
Hi, can you hear
Hey,
me?
Luz. Yes, it's wonderful to hear from you. Are you the
Yes,
Luz you are?
that's right. Yes, that's me. Luckily, one and only.
Very nice to hear from you. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, it's so awesome to see you also, and thank you for calling me, Lisa. So nice to hear from you too. So do I just ask you my question, Sandy,
Well,
or
no, we have this whole process we're going to go through. So, what's your sun sign?
my sun sign is Libra.
Okay, and where are you calling from? Or
I'm in
where?
New, I'm in New
New
Jersey.
Jersey. New Jersey. Oh boy, we're all over the East Coast tonight. And what are you most grateful for right now?
Um, breath entering my body.
Wow, breath is life, isn't it?
Yes.
That is wonderful. Okay, Luz, now let's look at Hori, what's going on for all of the Libras out there. I already talked about the cardinal signs in general, so let's focus a little bit specifically on Libra. This is kind of interesting because right now, Pluto, which has been in Capricorn for 19 years, this is Pluto, this shall be down here. There's my cursor, here's Pluto. That's the Capricorn sign. Pluto was in Capricorn for 19 years, and it just recently moved into Aquarius. So right now, it's giving us a look at our next 19 years. This is very important. Everybody should be keeping a diary, a journal from January 22nd, so this past January 22nd, all the way up through May 2nd. And that journal is going to give you coming attractions for the next 19 years of your life. Kind of important, okay? And for you Libras, since it's in Aquarius, that's an air sign, it's going to be really nice. It's going to help you to your views, your way of dealing with people, your ability to connect with a special partner, to connect with all of the people around you. It's going to be enhanced. Your ability to communicate. And I know, Luz, you used to be in a communication field. I think you probably still are. You're a natural
Yes.
born teacher. I think this is going to unfold for you. It's going to, i.e., the universe is now getting on board with your own ideology. The universe is saying, I can support the way you see things, the way you approach things. Now, after May 2nd this year, between May 2nd and the beginning of September, you're going to have a little setback because Pluto's going to retrograde back into Capricorn, and it's going to put all those challenges up in front of you again during the summer months. Don't buy into it. Don't give it energy. In fact, all of the cardinal signs, the Cancers, the Capricorns, the Libras, the Aries, this summer, a lot of the garbage from the last 19 years is going to try to get you. Do not overreact to it emotionally. Otherwise, you'll charge it and you'll drag it along into the future with you where you don't want it. Instead, say, well, Sandy told me about that. Yes, I will deal with it because it's old baggage, but I don't have to put any emotional energy into it whatsoever, because once Pluto goes direct, it will miraculously disappear, and it will. Okay, so right now you're looking at a nice future coming your way. There's a lot of activity around you. You're feeling like you've got to do it all at once. Luz, you've got like 19 or 20 years. You don't have to do it all at once. That feels like a lot of pressure being on just because there's this Mars-Pluto relationship going on down here. So what is your specific question?
My specific question is, just like you said, so I moved from teacher to trainer, and it's excellent what you said about the communication. People are um, connecting to me and my message, because that's ultimately what a trainer wants to do, right? Present information and have them connect to it. I would love to know regarding my training capacity with business. How will my business do in terms of financial and scaling, growing?
I think it's going to do great. Now, remember, we are going to have that time period during the summer,
Right.
where spring and summer, where old people come back into your life. They stir the pot. They make you feel guilty. They grab what you're building. It's going to be the same old, same old. If you don't buy into it, it won't be a big deal. If you do buy into it, it could be really irritating, you know? So the best thing to do is to look at those people in those situations and say, I don't think so. Been there, done that, don't need that one, okay? And outweigh it, and by the time we get into the fall, you're gonna be back into this time period. The fact is that you should be able to do almost anything you want with the, I'm hearing template. Apparently what you've done is you've created something that's brand new. It's like a new approach to whatever educational system or segment of education that you're in. It's a whole new thing. And as we move forward into the future, it's going to receive a lot of recognition. It's going to need some tweaks. There are going to be some places where it's going to be totally roadblocked. So you're just not going to go to those places. You'll go to other places. Am I making sense to you? And
Yeah,
when
so
you right, and what you're going to do is you're going to find the people, the agencies that will give it recognition, and then it's really going to take off. I think it's going to do very well, as long as you realize that if somebody doesn't want it, then ignore them and move on to somebody who does. Okay.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. And then in terms of health, that's the other thing, right? If you don't have health, you don't have a business.
Well, we also have something else going on in tonight's chart, and I'm surprised you're the first person who's brought this up. But Neptune over here is moving through the house of health. It's in Pisces. It's going to be moving into Aries next year in 2025, and that's actually going to be an improvement for people. Folks, I'm going to be more blunt about this stuff than I normally am because a lot of people aren't aware of it. But the vaccines and the boosters have carried a lot of, because they were created without a whole lot of forethought, and they've carried a lot of genetic things with them that are creating health issues for so many of the people and the families who have had them. And that's at least 50% or more of our population. So we have, you're not the only one. We have tons of health issues going on in our society right now. That's all the bad stuff, and you can go online and research it. It's easy to find stuff about that right now. The thing most people don't know is that med beds are coming. As a matter of fact, I heard from somebody today that Elon Musk has just released his first trial med bed, and you can go and look them up and see if you can't get online to have a treatment in one. These things can heal just about anything. So the thing is that the environment that we live in, and those, not just between the environment and the chemicals and all the other things that are in the air because of what's going on politically, basically, all those things plus the vaccines and their boosters, all this has created a monumental health problems in this country and indeed all over the world. But we have new technologies coming in that are going to heal and reverse all of that stuff. We just have to bring them in as quickly as we possibly can and start giving them and getting them available to all the people who need them. Luz, that's something you need to investigate because the health issue is there, but the cure is also there. That's what I'm seeing, that they are, the solution is here. The solution is at hand. You need to find it. And you may very well end up, because you are an entrepreneur, you may very well end up making that a part of your teaching system.
Nice. Yeah, and in full circle, coming back because you talked about a template, I created the GAIN model, GAIN, on how people can gain. Yeah, literally right on point. And training on basically enhancing people's emotional intelligence, emotional awareness. And I walk them through how to do that, gather, etc. So I love that you brought that up. Hopefully, because this is finally the first year. I mean, we've known each other. I think I took your class in 2012. This is the first, last year, I finally, I made 80,000, and it's the first time ever in my life that I reached that on my own and my own wisdom. Um, Thank you. Thank you. Do you see me able to double that and continue to double that in the coming
Yes,
years?
I do. Yeah, Luz, not only do I see you doubling that, but I see you, you're what we can kindly call a serial entrepreneur. Okay. So, what happens is as you develop things, new things unfold and then new things unfold. So I see you doubling that income, probably tripling that income, but I do also see you selling it to somebody else who will build upon it. And then you're taking that part of it and building something new for yourself. I think this is only the beginning of the things that you're going to be involved with.
That's phenomenal because I'm exhausted. And you said it, the 19 years of before have been like exhausting.
Well,
And to hear,
because you were beating your head against a brick wall, and that tends to get ignored. You knew what you could see, and you stuck to your guns. You knew it was
exactly,
important, but you did not have the support of the system.
correct.
And please remember, during the summer months when the carpet gets pulled out,
Yeah.
don't get upset. Say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you warned me about this." Find
I will.
somebody who thinks differently. That's all. Find somebody
And
who thinks differently.
and that's exactly it. So this company that finally hired me, will they hired me for 6 trainings? Do do they get their needs their expected needs met? Do I, in what you read in the cards, am I meeting expectations?
Here's
Am I surpassing?
the answer to that is yes. The problem is that they're not going to admit it.
Yeah, that's the hard part for me. Like,
Yeah.
exactly. I ask
Well,
everyone for a testimonial, they love it, and they forget because everyone's busy.
Well, yeah, and you're going to have to beat on them, and you're also going to have to you're going to have to really become that super good business person, which you have
Yeah,
been learning along the way, because all these things have to be contractual, and you have to be able to look back at the contract. And incidentally, there's no reason you can't even give me a testimonial into the contract. Your contract can have anything that you want in it.
you're right. Thank
The thing is that right now, because we're having these difficult times financially in our world, and folks, this is not your imagination, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on that's a hardship for people. And so there are a lot of companies that, they're not being as honorable as they should be. And during the summer, for many of them, it's going to be tighter than ever. And so what you're teaching and instructing, they're going to see as more of a luxury, you see.
you. Right.
So you might have to run after them to collect and things like that. Do not give up. Make them toe up.
You're right.
Contract,
I
okay?
agree. Yes, thank you. And that's it, right? It's I don't know. I'm so grateful for always your guidance. And if anyone here hasn't taken Sandy's class, you have to take the intuition class, developing your intuition, because you're phenomenal, Sandy.
Well, thank you. In fact, this is a good time for me to end the class, this session. Because you opened a wonderful door for me our present psychic development class is just about to complete level 2. So folks, if you've taken psychic development before and you want to jump into level 3, tools and toys, where we talk about everything from crystal gazing to astral traveling to all the fun things, okay, meeting your guides, automatic writing, crystal gazing. At any rate, if those things interest you and you've taken the class before, these classes you can take them one class at a time and they're half price. You can talk to Lisa about that. If you have taken it before, the second time around, it's always half price. And if you are somebody who's already got a good foundation, because levels 1 and 2 where we really set the foundation, and you wanted to join in at level 3, I would still let you join in. We have room in the class. It's a smaller class this year, but you're going to have to let me know that you already have that knowledge, that foundation, because I won't be going back over that material. But it's available in the program. You can go back and read the books and watch the movies, but I won't be reteaching it. Louis, thanks for that plug. I really appreciate it.
Yes, no, I appreciate you. Thank you for this,
You're
Lisa.
welcome.
Thank you so much, Sandy, for the reading.
You're welcome. And we talked about the fixed signs and we talked about the cardinal signs. We did not talk about the mutable signs, the Geminis, the Pisces, the Sagittarians, and the Virgos tonight. And so I want to end this session not with a question, but in a more general way that will hit all of those mutable signs. If you are one of those mutable signs, you may very well indeed be concerned with what's happening in your day-to-day life. You might be getting enhanced dreams right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in your family and in your job that's pressing your buttons. It's really cool, and that might be why you guys didn't ask questions tonight, because it tends to make you tense up and become fearful. So you mutable sign people, you're dealing with a whole lot of fears right now in your world. And one day's a happy day, the next day is an oh day. It's kind of like you're bouncing back and forth, just like my cursor is here. Definitely concerned with health problems for both yourself and in the family. You might be, in a more positive sense, thinking about doing some traveling as we come into the spring and the summer months. And if you possibly can travel or get educationally involved in something which is something you've wanted to pursue for a while, those two things are going to lighten the energy for you. Either traveling, and that could be to visit family or just to travel, or getting involved with some educational thing to pursue that's going to help you to become more grounded, more directed, more on point with finding what you really want to do right now in life, as so many things around you are shifting. Okay, Lisa, I think that's about it. And folks, remember, if you didn't get called on this evening, because I know I spent a little more time with people, I didn't do as many people as I normally do. But if you get your question to me before tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I will be glad to answer it. And remember to include your name, your sun sign, what you're most grateful for, and your simple question. Okay. And when I say simple, it doesn't have to be, it's not that I'm saying, well, what do the key is, don't say, what do the guides say about my life? That's too general. When I say simple, I mean a directed question, specific. You know, I want to move. Will I? something that's been, well, where do you see me moving to? Even something like that, but be specific with your question. If you're too general, it becomes something that my guides have difficulty answering, except for this chart, which usually can give you a pretty good focused answer. Folks, thank you so much for being here. I love the fact that we get to do this each month. I look forward to it. I hope that you do too. And I want to wish you a very happy St. Patty's Day. The part of St. Patty's Day I like is the part where we all get lucky and that pot of gold falls on our heads, not the part where the elves drag you down and torture you, or where the Roman Catholic priest chases all the Druids out of Ireland. I wasn't real happy about that either. Good night, folks. I'll see you next month on March 24th. Have a wonderful month. Bye-bye.